Alright, glad to have you on board. You're watching Maisha Prime News here on Maisha Television. We bring you a comprehensive review of the events of the day, from politics, education sector to the business sector. A lot of thanks to you for choosing Maisha TV, and now on to our top stories. Tonight,
if you do not open Nyayo Stadium for the Kenya Kwanza final rally on Saturday, we will hold this rally on the streets of Nairobi. We have identified the junction of Moi Avenue and Kenyatta Avenue, and Kenyans will fill up the streets of Nairobi. You are obligated to protect business premises along those streets. That is where we'll have our rallies, like we did in Eldoret the other day, we did in Kakamega. When you
Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula says the Kenya Kwanza coalition will hold final rally in Nairobi CBD if denied access to Nyayo Stadium. Also tonight,
election is at the polling station. It will start and end there. The results will be announced at the polling station. We have allowed them to take photos of the results, those who are agents, those who are observers, and even the media.
Chebukati assures the country that the poll agency is well prepared to deliver a credible and tamper-proof poll, even as he appealed for prayers to deliver on the demanding assignment. Also tonight,
tuko na mpango maalum, Marshall Plan ya ajira ya hawa vijana, na tumesema tutaweka bilioni 200 kila mwaka ili tuwe na textile, leather, wood, agro-processing, value addition, manufacturing, housing. Ndio hawa vijana wapate ajira, wajisimamie na wasimamie familia zao.
Kenya Kwanza continued strong rallies in Mount Kenya region, rallying residents to vote for the outfit on 9th. And
Ruto! 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 Wetangula! Wetangula! UDA! UDA! Rigadi! 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 Malala! Malala!
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Brigade pitches camp in Western Kenya again, days to the general election. Alright, welcome again. My name is Bushabi Jr. Now let's kick off with the country's politics. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition presidential candidate Raila Odinga and his troops on Wednesday took their campaigns to Kakamega County in a bid to solidify his grip on the county that has previously supported him in his quest to become the head of state. Raila held a mega rally at the Buhungu Stadium to mark the last of his campaign in the western region. Accompanied by his allies, Raila Odinga now says corruption has been the barrier for the growth of the economy in the country. Odinga has pledged to prioritize the fight against corruption when he becomes the president. Millicent Makoha followed up on the story and brings us the following report.
The Azimio la Umoja Brigade held a series of rallies at Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega County, where the coalition urged voters to turn up in large numbers next week to cast their ballots in favor of their coalition.
Kwa sababu hiyo tumekuja hapa kwa maombi ya mwisho. Ili sema shetani.
So mnajua baba anatupenda, tusalimiane. Azimio, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Si baba anatupenda. Anayependa, anayekupenda, asiyekupenda. Nani anayekupenda wewe? Asiyekupenda?
tumalizane na Ruto. Si tumekubaliana baba ni anatupenda. Asiyetupenda tunaachana na yeye. Nataka sasa uwanja wote kila mtu aweke mikono. Paka watu waone Sugoi, paka Wetangu na Musanya wajue leo ni kufa na kupona. Hatutaki mpango aka.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga said his government will work to provide employment opportunities for the youths.
Niliambia nyinyi ati hii uchaguzi inakuja sio kama ya 2017, 2013, 2007. Hapana. Hii uchaguzi ni kama 1963 ambayo ilimaliza ukoloni ikaleta uhuru. Sawa. 2002 ilimaliza utawala ya kidhuluma ya chama kimoja ikaleta demokrasia ikapatia Wakenya katiba mpya. Hii ni ukombozi ya pili. Ukombozi ya tatu ni hii ya kura ya wiki ijayo. Hii sasa ni kuleta ukombozi ya kiuchumi, the economic liberation of Kenya.
Speaking during the commissioning of the project, Raila made a number of promises, including monthly 6,000 shilling stipend to poor families, affordable healthcare for as BAMBA care, and free primary, secondary and tertiary education.
Ili tuweze kutosheleza mahitaji yetu kwa upande ya chakula. Na bei ya chakula itarudi chini. Bei ya unga itarudi chini. Bei ya sukari itarudi chini. Bei mafuta itarudi chini. Tunaona sawa sawa. Mtaona na vile tumesema watoto wenu wote tukisaziba hizo mianya zote watoto wenu wote watasoma bila kulipa karo yoyote katika shule. Alafu kwa upande mwingine, kwa upande ya matibabu tumesema baba kaya itatawala. Baba kaya. Tumesema vile vile mtaona manake sisi kwanza tuseme tu yale ambayo tutafanya, wale ambayo tutatoa, lakini tunasema yale ambayo itaingia. The supply side and the expenditure side. Tukitengeneza hizo mali namna hiyo, tumesema tutaangalia wale watu wetu ambaye wana mahitaji na hawana pesa. Sawa. Tumesema 6,000 kwa wale jamii ambaye wako na shida.
ODM party leader was accompanied by Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance Deputy Presidential Candidate Martha Karua, Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, Sonar East Member of Parliament Junet Mohamed, Governor Hassan Joho, Honorable Peter Kenneth, among other leaders.
Tarehe imekaribia. Ni Jumanne wiki ijayo tarehe 9. Nchi yetu imo hatarini kubwa. Tukianguka tutaenda kwa shimo, hatutaweza kutoka upesi. Lakini tukienda mahali inayofaa, nchi yetu itainuka kiuchumi, kimaendeleo, kihaki na kwa njia zote. Baba ashawaelezea. Pande moja iko wakombozi, pande ingine iko wafisadi.
Tarehe 9 rais ni Raila. Sasa sio mwezi ujao, ni tarehe 9.
Muonyeshe kwamba ile renti dogo ya madharau kwa familia ya Mluya imefika kiwango cha kuisha. Na uombee Musalia Mudavadi. Kama Mudavadi anajifanya ndiye kinara katika familia ya Ruto kwa Waluya, na chama cha Ruto kinasimamisha mtu kuwa mbunge wa Sabatia, anataka kushinda mbunge wa chama cha Musalia, hiyo heshima gani? Mwisho kabisa, musidharau yale tumekuwa tukisema kwamba siasa ya Ruto ni siasa ya furugo. Be ready. Don't let him spoil our country.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Millicent Makoha.
All right, thank you so much, Millicent. And still in politics, let's shift gears to Mount Kenya region, where Deputy President William Ruto led the Kenya Kwanza team on Wednesday on an extended tour of the vote-rich Mount Kenya region, traversing through Kirinyaga and Kiambu counties. As the campaigns enter the home stretch, the presidential aspirant wooed the Mount Kenya region, promising to implement the bottom-up economic model to move the country to economic boom if he'll be elected as the 5th president of Kenya in August 9th. Sharon Chepchumba followed up on the Kenya Kwanza campaign trail and filed up this report.
United Democratic Alliance presidential flag bearer William Ruto continued with his second-day campaigns in Mount Kenya, selling bottom-up economic model and pesa mfukoni gospel in Kirinyaga and Kiambu counties.
Tafadhali nimekuja kuomba kura zenu. Kwa heshima kubwa nimekuja kuomba kura zenu. Mutanipatia kura zenu jameni? Mutanipatia kura zenu? Hebu nione kura ya William Ruto. Hebu nione kura ya Rigathi Gachagua. Mutanipatia kura zenu tutengeneze hii maneno. Wapo watu wa bottom up hapa, nione watu ya bottom up. Tunaelewana jameni?
The DP said his government will prioritize and spur economic growth to improve the livelihoods of ordinary Kenyans, making living from casual jobs and empowering small-scale traders to expand their business.
Wale mnafanya kazi kule sokoni, wale mnafanya kazi hata boda boda, tumesema mwaka huu vile tunaweka pesa ya serikali kwa kampuni kubwa ya serikali, mwaka huu tutaweka pesa ya serikali vile vile kwa biashara ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Neguo kana tiguo. Nasema hivi, tumesema tutakuwa na hazina maalum inayoitwa Hustler Fund, ambayo itakuwa na bilioni 50 kila mwaka, tuweze kuwasaidia wale wafanyabiashara wa chini. Wewe ambaye unakopa pesa kwa Shylock, wale mnakopa pesa kwa Fuliza, wale wamewekwa kwa CRB, watu milioni 15 Kenya, tuko na habari njema kwenu. Tutakuwa na hazina maalum ambayo itakuwa bilioni 50 kila mwaka ya kusaidia wale wanafanya madukani hapa, wale wanafanya sokoni kule, watu ya boda boda, na hiyo pesa itakuwa ni pesa ya serikali. Hakuna kulipa interest, hakuna kuulizwa security. Bora uwe member ya cooperative, ama uwe member ya sacco, ama uwe member ya kikundi, wewe utapata pesa ya serikali, utainua biashara yako katika ile mpango ya bottom up. Bottom.
The DP said if elected, he will revive initiatives under the Big Four agenda to facilitate employment for the youth.
Matters and employment are matters that are an emergency and a crisis in the Republic of Kenya. And that is why we are saying already we have 5 million young people out of school and out of college. And their challenge is that they have no jobs and they have no opportunities. We are saying as Kenya Kwanza, for the first time, we are going to have a Marshall Plan around employment. And we are going to deploy every year 200 billion shillings so that we can build our textile, our leather, our wood industry, agro-processing, value addition, manufacturing and housing, so that the young people of Kenya, including those of Kagio and those of Kirinyaga, can have opportunities. They can work and work for themselves and their families, and they can contribute to growing the economy of our country and growing our country as Kenya. Vijana mnanielewa jameni?
Ruto said the Kenya Kwanza government will ensure all Kenyans will be enrolled under the NHIF kitty, and those who cannot afford will be catered for by the government.
Kuna mtu anapanga kuwa mgonjwa? Kuna mtu anapenda kuwa mgonjwa? Si ugonjwa ni bahati mbaya? Ndio tumesema mwananchi akiwa mgonjwa asikue ati anakuwa penalized, ati anaenda kuuza mali yake ajitibu. Tumesema vile nchi zingine zinafanya, we will have a universal health coverage that will ensure every citizen of the Republic of Kenya can access medical care, and the UHC cover is going to make sure every citizen is covered so that nobody sells their property to pay for hospital bills.
The DP, while highlighting the number of projects done in Mount Kenya during Jubilee government, said his track record in government sets him ahead of his competitors.
Kenya hii tumejenga kilomita 700 ya reli. Tumetengeneza barabara kilomita 10,000 zikiwemo za hapa Kirinyaga. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mimi mwenyewe nimekuja kuanzisha barabara kama 3 hapa Kirinyaga. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tumetengeneza, tumeunganisha stima Kenya mzima kwa watu 8.5 million wakiwemo watu wa Kirinyaga hapa. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tumeweka equipment kwa hospitali ile ya referral, hospitali 94 zikiwemo hospitali 2 hapa Kirinyaga. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Nego kana tego. Neveraimirania. Tunaelewana. Tumejenga technical training colleges 170 Kenya, zikiwemo 3 ya hapa Kirinyaga. Watu 15 million wako kwa CRB na madeni. Bei ya unga 230, bei ya mbolea 7,000. Hiyo kazi yote hiyo, mkiona huyu mtu akitenda vile analala, hiyo kazi itafanyika.
While campaigning, DP Ruto used the platform to criticize the latest opinion polls that have placed his main challenger Raila Odinga above him in popularity.
Kwa sababu hawa majamaa wanajua tutawashinda tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. They know it. They know we have won this election. That is why they are up to all these games. Opinion polls, incitement, mambo ya pamphlets, mambo ya nini, wanapanga hiyo mambo yote kwa sababu wanajua tutawashinda tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. That is why they are publishing opinion polls every other day, because they know we will beat them on the 9th of August, and they want so that they have excuses on refusing to accept the outcome of this election.
Jana wametoa opinion polls kama 10. Leo wamepanga zingine kama 5. Wanapanga opinion poll ndio tarehe 9 tukihesabu kura waanza kusema kimeibiwa. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, nyinyi muendelee na opinion poll zenu na muendelee kujidanganya nyinyi wenyewe na hizo fake opinion polls, lakini mtajua opinion poll haipigi kura. Hawa Wakenya wakagio ndio wanapiga kura, na wameamua fomu ni ya William Ruto.
Mimi nataka kusema opinion poll ni nyinyi, si ndio? Nyinyi mmeulizwa maswali. Kuna mtu amewauliza maswali.
Hata wakijaribu mipango gani ama gani hii wanaleta mambo ya opinion poll ama nini, tunajua ukweli.
At the same time, they called on Mount Kenya residents to turn up in large number and grant them a decisive win come election day.
Ni kweli tumebakisha siku 5. Mko tayari? Imebaki siku 5. Hakutakuwa na Jumatano ingine kabla mpige kura.
Na tutaamuka asubuhi mapema kumpigia William Samoei. Tutaamuka mapema kumpigia. Lakini kwa sababu hii serikali ya mahasala, hatutaki mahasala asubuliwe na polisi. Hawa polisi tutawapanga. Ndani ya siku 100 tutaongeza mshahara na marupurupu, pia hao wakae mzuri. Lakini tunataka hao polisi officers tumeongea na hao wakuwe waangwana. Wakipata mshahara wapate kitu kikubwa, wawachane na mambo ya kitu kidogo. Na pia tunataka polisi wakuwe marafiki ya raia, mtembeleane, muende shule pamoja, muende kanisa pamoja, mcheze mpira pamoja. Tunataka hao polisi wakuwe kama Amerika. Polisi akuwe ni rafiki ya raia. Kazi ya polisi ni kuchunga biashara, sio kuhangaisha biashara. Mtanipatia kura zenu jameni? Mtanipatia kura zenu? Hebu nione kura ya William Ruto.
Sisi watu wa Kiambu tutaamuka asubuhi na mapema, tutaramuka na wheelbarrow. Rais tuchagua William Ruto.
Ati William Samoei. As many as those opinions here. Those are the common opinions here, no. Mnajua hakuna.
Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Sharon Chepchumba.
All right. right, thank you so much, Chumbe Sharon there with the comprehensive report. Now, moving on, the Forward Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula now says that the Kenya Kwanza coalition will hold its final campaign rally on Saturday, August 6th in the Nairobi Central Business District if they are denied access to the Nyayo Stadium. This follows a directive from the Ministry of Sports that denied access to Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalitions entry into Nyayo and Kasarani stadiums due to peace events scheduled for the said dates. Reader Kering Chebet prepared that report.
Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula has announced that Kenya Kwanza will hold its final rally at the heart of Nairobi Central Business District CBD if denied access to Nyayo National Stadium.
We have identified the junction of Moi Avenue and Kenyatta Avenue, and Kenyans will fill up the streets of Nairobi. You are obligated to protect business premises along those streets. That is where we'll have our rallies, like we did in Eldoret the other day, we did in Kakamega when you denied us entry into Buhungu. And Kenyans who want to listen to our final message as we head home to victory will turn up and fill the streets of Nairobi the same way Obama addressed Berlinians in Berlin on the eve of his elections and set the role and the ball of freedom in East Jam.
The Bungoma senators said that they have already identified a section on Kenyatta Avenue where the rally will take place.
We have seen a lot of bravado from your Minister for Security. He's applying security arrangements in the country selectively. Your ministers are availing facilities of the government and the public selectively. For instance, we applied and paid for an astronomical figure of 1.5 million for Nyayo Stadium for our final rally on Saturday. All of a sudden, we are told you are going to have peace prayers at Nyayo Stadium. You have opened up Kasarani for our competitors of Azimio. You have closed Kamkunji for us that it is booked for something else. You've closed Jacaranda that is booked for something else. Like we have said a day or two ago, if you do not open Nyayo Stadium for the Kenya Kwanza final rally on Saturday, we will hold this rally on the streets of Nairobi.
Wetangula made the declarations directly addressing Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, claiming that it was an official notice of intent to hold a public gathering in the Nairobi town center.
As Kenya Kwanza want a peaceful Kenya, we want a peaceful election, we want a peaceful outcome. We want IEBC to be given security and protection to act within the law and to declare the winner after the process.
Previously, Sports Kenya on Wednesday, July 20th, informed UDA Party Secretary General Veronica Maina that the venue would not be available. In the letter seen by Maisha Television, Sports Kenya Director General Pius Meto said both Kasarani and Nyayo had been booked for a peace concert on the date leading coalitions are expected to hold their final rally. The move by the government saw Ruto's team head to court seeking permission to use Nyayo Stadium. UDA insisted on having paid all the required fees to use the stadium to hold Ruto's last mega rally for the 2022 elections.
This venue was booked on the 9th of July. We signed a contract with the authority responsible for the stadium on the 12th of July, and also received the receipt for the payment on the same day.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Reader Kering Chebet.
Right, a big thank you to you, Kering Chebet. And now on to election preparedness. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati says he has given his all in preparations for next week's general election. Chebukati assured the country that the poll agency is well prepared to deliver a credible and tamper-proof poll, even as he appealed for prayers to deliver on the demanding assignment. He was speaking during a prayer meeting organized by the Commission in conjunction with the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops KCCB and the National Council of Churches of Kenya NCCK at the National Tallying Center on Wednesday. Nerima Wekesa filed the following report.
Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati is the man on the limelight in the next week's election as he bears the weight of responsibility on the conduct of the poll. So heavy is the burden that prayers seem to be the secret tool that keeps him going after doing all he is mandated to do to ensure the highly contested election is carried out in a free and fair manner.
And observers can monitor and notice any discrepancies. 3. Procedure and flow of actions during the ballot counting and tallying. 4. Procedure for voter identification and redundancy measures if a voter's challenge is being identified on the KIMS kit. This notwithstanding the fact that a few days ago, the Commission launched a call center and media center, which is truly commendable so that citizens can engage and ask questions directly and seek responses from the Commission. Mr. Chairman, one of the lessons we have learned from the previous general elections is that there are candidates and supporters who will not be satisfied with the result as announced. As provided for in the Constitution, such persons are allowed to file petitions in court to facilitate a judicial review of the electoral process and outcome. It is therefore conceivable to presume that different candidates are...
While addressing the gathering during a prayer meeting organized by the Commission in conjunction with the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, KCCB, and the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, at the National Tallying Center on Wednesday, Chebukati painted the picture of what the Commission is seeking to do to ensure the poll is credible and transparent.
And on our part, we want to make it very difficult for them to go to court by the transparency measures we have put around the process, because we are telling them election is at the polling station, it will start and end there, the results will be announced at the polling station. We have allowed them to take photos of the results, those who are agents, those who are observers, and even the media. And if the available result forms will also be given out. So you'll know your result at the polling station.
Chebukati assured the country that the poll agency is well prepared to deliver a credible and tamper-proof poll.
As transparent as we can. And today, if you look at the daily newspapers, we have published 2 pages on the frequently asked questions as to about the electoral process. So we encourage the Kenyans and your congregations to read those, what we have published, and also engage us through the call center. It's working 24 hours, 3 shifts, on any questions that or concerns that they may have as regards the electoral process.
The poll agency was expecting the last batch of the ballot papers to arrive in the country on Wednesday, with all the elections material expected in the country by August 6th. There are over 16,000 candidates competing for 1,882 seats in the 6 elective categories spread across the country.
We have over 16,000 candidates in this election, of which they are all competing for 1,882 seats. So you'll have a team of about 14,000 who will, may accept results or may be unhappy. And the role of the church then is to encourage them to use the mechanism available, dispute resolution through petitions, as opposed to inciting the citizenry to violence or other forms of protests. Because we have the legal framework, and those who are dissatisfied, then let them use that avenue.
Chebukati exuded confidence that the nation will remain stable after the elections.
And so we believe with those measures in place, there will be less disputes, and then we should have a peaceful country after the announcement and declaration of winners after the results are announced. So mine this morning is just to say we are...
Nerima Wekesa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
And notice.
All right, thank you, Nerima Wekesa, for that report. And moving on to matters education. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has apologized on behalf of the government for the early closure of schools, speaking after launching the newly built CBC classes at Umoja Secondary School in Eldoret. Magoha said the move was to ensure early preparations for elections by IEBC. Magoha further affirmed that he takes into consideration the welfare of the children, especially at this transition period. On Monday, Magoha ordered that all schools be closed on Tuesday, August 2nd, and that students will report back on August 11th. This was contradictory to his earlier statement, where he said that schools will be closed on August 6th to August 15th to pave way for the general election. Let's listen in.
I know that people are very unhappy that the schools were closed abruptly. Let me apologize on behalf of government. But you see, the Electoral Commission must be given whatever they want, whenever they want, in order to be able to carry out a free, fair, and justifiable election. So the small pain that I have caused you, I take full responsibility because I'm the one who was supposed to say it. I think the swords you have sent on me are now enough. But it's also important that the Electoral Commission gets access to schools, and not to say that we did not give them enough time to prepare for the election. So as I take full responsibility, please try and understand that I love the children, and I would be the last person to put their life or anything at risk. We have children. Children don't have political parties. Children don't vote. Children are just children. And why my task is very difficult is to ensure that as we approach the transition, which unfortunately is coming at the end of the year, we must be prepared. So if you see me running around, even I will go and vote, and on the voting day I will rest, but the following day I will still push my people to find out how far we have gone as far as these CBC classrooms are concerned. I may not have a direct person who is going to benefit from these classrooms, but having taken the job, I must do it the way it has to be done.
Opinion polls have been a long tradition practiced during election period. Some agree with it, others refute them. A new TIFA poll now shows that Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition presidential candidate Raila Odinga would win the election with 53% if Kenyans went to the ballot today. In the poll, Kenya Kwanza Coalition presidential flag bearer William Ruto came in second with a 45% approval rating. The poll results were generated from the respondents who affirmed that they would participate in the August 9th polls. This has seen Raila's popularity grow from 49% and Ruto's from 41% in a previous poll that included undecided voters. TIFA noted that the outcome of the election depends on voter turnout, and this cannot be predicted by the survey. Interestingly, the poll by TIFA showed that Ruto's UDA party remained the most popular political party at 38%, followed by ODM at 32%, while President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee party was ranked third with a 5% popularity rating. Ruth's party candidate Professor George Wajakoya would win 2% of the votes, while Agano party candidate David Mwaure would get 0.2% of the votes.
I'm pleased today to present the results of TIFA's final pre-election survey. And we'll begin with what is everybody's top line, of course, and that is the presidential race. Among all the respondents in this survey, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has the largest lead that we have obtained so far in all the surveys we've done over the last 2 years, even the last 3 or 4 when he was in the lead, now by 8% over Deputy President William Ruto, 49 to 41%. The other two candidates in the race combined getting about 2%. However, we also had 8% of our respondents who said that they were undecided or declined to tell us what their voting intentions will be, although a few of them said, as of the time of the survey a few days ago, they were not intending to vote. We then did a calculation by removing those 8% of respondents who didn't give us the name of a candidate, because obviously when you go into the voting booth and given a presidential ballot, or any ballot for that matter, you can't vote for somebody called undecided or keep quiet. You're either going to vote or not. If you don't vote, that ballot does not go into the ballot vote total that is used to calculate whether anyone obtains 50% plus 1 on August the 9th. The percentages for the two main candidates, both of them, they increase. For Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, it goes up from 49% to 53%. And for William Ruto and his running mate, Rigathi Gachagua, goes up from 41 to 45%, leaving the other two candidates with, again, slightly over 2%.
All right, folks, with that story from Tifa Post, let us take a quick commercial break. I'll be back with more news.
Kura upo. IEBC imeweka mikakati kurahisisha utaratibu wa kupiga kura. Uingiapo kituoni, utahitajika kuwasilisha kitambulisho au pasipoti yako kwa karani wa IEBC. Baada ya kutambulishwa, utapewa karatasi 6 za kura zenye rangi tofauti za nyadhifa mbalimbali. Elekea kwenye sehemu iliyotengwa kupigia kura kwa siri na uweke alama moja tu kwa kila karatasi kumchagua kiongozi umtakaye. Kisha tumbukiza kila kura kwenye sanduku lenye kifuniko cha rangi sawa na kura yako. Mwishowe utapakwa wino kwenye kidole na uondoke kituoni. IEBC, your vote, your future.
A strong woman knows she has strength enough for the journey. But a woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. Join Irene Mumbo Bushebi and Rita Kering on Prime Women Talk every Wednesday from 8 p.m. exclusive to MTV.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hammersmith.
Barcelona is live from Damascus. We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV, for Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
The stage is set. The time is now.
Credible news. It is prime news. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the best. Informative. Authoritative. Unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News.
Engineering jobs can now also be found widely in the computer engineering, software engineering, nanotechnology, mechatronics, and many more.
Engineering tips in association with
Kongoni Technical and Vocational College, technology and innovation to meet societal needs.
Amani. 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 TikTok clock ina tick. TikTok blogger ana post na kuretweet hateful messages, ana spread woga. Ni kuspread hashtag ya uongo. Trend love not animosity kwa city Mr. Blogger. Kwa watu wa ndudhi, watu wa bodaboda, mapolitician wanakam na uongo na soda. Ati wakupe 200 utoe zogo. Jiheshimu nani? Kula jasho yako. Kula hiyo ugali ndogo. Spread love not animosity Mr. Boda Boda. Wamama wetu wakuza mboga, kalisha watoto chini, ongelesha familia. Punguza huzuni, machozi na kulia. Sababu kijana alionekana corruption akafinyiliwa. Wamama wetu tufundishe familia amani. Spread love not animosity kwa city mama. Vijana ma youthman, wacha tamaa. Kula jasho yako, wacha umang'aa. Politician hata kusaidia ukiletwa balaa. Excitement juu umepewa punch, utajipata kamiti unaserve miaka punch. So tulia, wacha vita. Spread love not animosity vijana. Politician, wanasiasa, kama ni campaign piga kwa amani. Uza sera ya kujenga Kenya. Uza sera ya kuleta umoja. Spread love not animosity Mr. Politician. Love.
This message is brought to you by the International Republican Institute in partnership with Siasa Place.
It is a season of seriousness, and only the serious presenters come onto your screen.
Maisha Prime News and Maisha Prime Morning Edition. My hustle, my story. Maisha Prime Weekend.
Rida Karim Chebet, Millicent Makoha, Brian Gad. Only on Maisha TV. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is prime news. Only on Maisha TV.